And I mean, it's funny that you say that because it's a good point. Because back in the days, 2013, you had a job where, I mean, you worked overtime almost every day, right?
Yeah.
And you really didn't get treated good at that job.
No.
Like, they were horrible to you. And I do feel bad for you. Because, like, back then, I did not have a job myself. I had just finished school, and I had all the free time on my hands to do whatever I wanted to. And I could have gotten a job myself, to be honest, but I spent my time holding a record in a game, doing YouTube and stuff like that. And sometimes I really wanted my friend here to join me and stuff like that, but it was really difficult for him to do it because he really did not have much time.
Yeah, I was so tired all the time. I'm like going home, sleeping, going to work, sleeping, going to work, sleeping.
Yeah.
Like all the time.
You really have no free time to do anything you want. I mean, and like you said, it's going around in circles because like right now, well, you were number one, right?
Yeah.
That was the week, but I worked almost 70 hours that week.
And now I have a YouTube. Yeah. And you don't have the time.
and I mean, it's kind of sad in a way because I really wanted to help you. Like, I have some previous experience and stuff like that, but I just did not have the time that week because I was scheduled for 70 hours almost. I just could not do anything, right?
I'm
sorry,
going
man.
in circles. Oh.
Yeah,
but this is a really good experience to learn to understand your friends better. So it's worth it. We always going to get back to each other because why after 22
years?
22 years, why stop now? Like, this is so much more an ordinary
it's kind
friendship.
Of insane, actually. Like, we have known
like
each other for 22
a whole
years.
life.
Yeah.
We have been together in school, small school. So we're talking about everything we have done. We have done it together.
It's true.
Small part is not together, but
and
the most of it, the most important thing are together.
Very important detail is the fact that if it wasn't for you, I never would have took the record that I did because
I always supported you.
Yeah, and you were actually the one that introduced me to the game in the first place.
Actually not.
It was your brother.
My brother was.
Yeah, but you're actually the one that introduced me to Minecraft in the first place.
Minecraft, but my brother introduced it to Hunger Game.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. So
you have right.
I would still say that you still introduced me to the game that led to that record, right? So
that's right.
It's still true, and like you said, like your inspiration and the way you actually supported me.
Yeah, I always push you to push out more videos.
I remember that one time, like we were eating a pizza, right?
Yeah.
We were just sitting there, and I just told you for some reason that, you know, I'm actually not top 1,000 in a game right now, and I was really proud of being top 1,000.
Yeah.
But I proceeded, and I kept going, and eventually I got number one.
1 week later. Oh,
actually 3 weeks later.
This story you need to tell. You get to know a lot of people who have high ranks, not high ranks, but high up in the leaderboards. You said to them, I'm going to be number one in 1 week. Take this story.
No, like, okay, so I had a group of friends back then, and back then we were just casual players, and I was a moderator on the server back then, and that's basically how people got to know me before I became number one. And around that time I was top 100 or something, and my friends, they didn't really know that, but I made a joke to them when they realized that I was top 100. Just wait for 3 weeks and I'm gonna become number one. And I mean, that's one of the things. I might not have been as humble back then. I was like, I really wanted to, you know.
You was young.
I was 19 back then. Yeah. I wasn't really young, but I had
young in your head.
I had ambitions, so to speak, but I really wanted it, and I just pushed forward. And I mean, that's one of the things. Like, I've always taught you this, that it's important to just be humble and try to be a good image for the community, because, like, I held that rank for almost 3 years, and you learn a lot of things during that time. I mean, you had a taste of how stressful it can be in some ways.
That's why, because I have always been around a person who have 2 records and be the number 1 for many years. So this is not an ordinary thing for me. This is a casual thing. For my best friend is the number 1. So this is not strange to me. But the feeling to be myself and see, and is like a thing I experienced, and I like to learn more about how did he feel, because I have not been the best manager person in his life. I have pushed him really much to, I mean, I believe you need to do this video. I can try to be in, like, I have always pushed him to do more YouTube, because I want him to get successful in YouTube. And to be fair, I wanted to be successful as well. But
I mean, you were always my inspiration back then. Like, I didn't have anything else really. Like, it's sort of depressing in a way, where I sort of became an empty shell. I was playing for 15 to 18 hours a day, actually physically sitting at my computer and stressing about it, because it was a physical PvP game. And I sort of lost myself in there. And my friend here, he was actually the one that kept me, what should I say? How should I even express
going,
this?
maybe.
Yeah, you kept me going, and
I said this is good for you.
I didn't lose my humanity, so to speak. Like
I said this is good for you. Try to talk to your fans. Try to be more open.
Yeah.
Try to be like,
you always
talk to people.
Yep.
To type to the person who. I said to you, you get the lost of. If you go into his channel, you can still see these good comments. I said to him, people are writing this, and I always off every video read his comments, and I said to him, you have so good comments, people really want you to not be the number 1, but not to be the to be the person you are. So the people like writing, I love you for who you are. And I said it to him, and like to said like, you have people not to want to you be to number 1, but they want you as a person. So if you succeed or produce more videos, you don't need to be number 1.
No, that's what important thing.
That's what I doing right now. I'm not now number 1. I'm number 2. So, but I'm still get the same love. You don't need to be the lover one.
Lover one, yeah.
Number 1 all the time.
Actually, I would say that's exactly what you need. You need to become the lover one, not
lover
the number
one. Yeah.
No, you should.
We can take it like a new thing. Lover one. I'm the lover one.
You need to become a good image for the community.
Yeah.
Like, you need to, what should I say, bind the community together, rather than being, number 1. Like, I always said this to my friend as well. Being number 1 is the key to the door. Sort of like, you want to get into the YouTube world, you need to get recognition in some way, because otherwise people wouldn't find anything about your channel, right?
Yeah.
Being number 1, getting some sort of recognition, is what unlocks that door. But once you have unlocked that door, what do you want to do with it? I mean, being number 1 is not important in any way, but once you have gotten that recognition,
you need to be humble about it.
Yes, and you need to sort of be a good image for the community.
Yeah, how do I want to use this?
Yeah, exactly.
And for me, like, I'm not the good in English person, but I'm seeing like this. I want people to laugh at my bad things, because laugh at the bad things are the good things, because I always laugh at my bad things and embrace the things are good. So laugh at the bad things and embrace your good things.
And
That is my key word.
I have to say something, and it's something that makes you unique as well. Your English is what it is, right? Like, you've had your problems, but you are definitely getting better. I can already tell.
Yeah,
like,
I go into
that was
better.
just a few years ago where you even refused to try, right?
Yeah.
But you have become so much more confident in it, and one day you will become
As good at everyone.
Yeah, exactly, and
Yeah.
you will always have an accent because, like, we're Swedish people.
Yeah,
We-
you
we
have as well.
Yeah, I do have an accent, but because it's not my first language.
And
right?
we have begin to speak English when we meet, so we can use it to get better content.
But I think that's just one thing that makes you unique in the YouTube world, where you know it's not perfect, and people love you for it.
Yeah. Let
because
it to
you
not
just-
be perfect.
You just let it go, and you just make it flow in a way. You just show that you don't really care. You have the confidence to do it anyway, and I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
You just do it, and people will sort of learn to realize that everything doesn't have to be perfect.
Show people
Just do what you love, and that's what matters.
which energy you put in is the energy comes out. I don't care. I have really fun with my bad English when I listen back to my video. I'm already laughing about it. For my English reading is really good, but my English speaking is that's better now.
I have to say, and that's one of those things that, like, it's just one of those strengths that you have. If I was struggling with something, I would get frustrated, right? Like, most people would probably get frustrated.
Yeah.
I'm like that. And my friend over here, he's just
laughing about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually really cool how you do that. Like, I'm actually sort of envious of you how you do that. It's just, I don't even know what to say. You just go in with all the confidence in the world and you just do it. And that's an amazing thing. Just
everything I think is hard, I laugh at it and go anyway.
Yep.
My things are hard and I laugh at it and straight through anyway.
Yeah.
Because people going, I feel like you get so much more when you, especially when you have this problem. And I want to be the person for that form of people who feel the same way. Because when I speak with some people, they want to have the mic muted because they don't feel confident enough to, or not that word. This is not word. Yes, this is the word I'm talking about, but they don't feel like they want to talk. And I don't feel like to write. So I say to them, okay, you write and I talk. So they write the questions to me and I answer them with my voice. That's what I'm feeling confident to do. Because I have problem writing. Writing is my worst enemy. Because I can struggle with a word so long time with Google Translate, and I see, oh, that's not right, and I typing in the people falling out because they cannot wait that long. So I prefer, even if I'm not good at it, I prefer to talk with a personal sense, because the personal sense in a human being is so pure and so good. For they hear my voice and they hear I'm humble about it, and they can get my not joke, but they can get my sentence he trying, but not in the typing. In the typing, I also almost the most annoying guy. No, most what it called.
I mean, that's just one thing I have to say is that, I mean, this is just a thing where, you know, you suffer from sort of severe dyslexia, which means that this doesn't just affect your English. It's when you type generally.
In Swedish as well.
Even in Swedish.
Yeah.
Which is your main language. You struggle with, you know, like expressing yourself through text.
I cannot do it at all.
I understand that. Like, that's why I always call you when we try to have a conversation, because I know how much you struggle, and you know, that's why I'm really impressed that you do something like this, because you have to work hundreds of times harder than anyone else to do what you're doing right now, but you just do it anyway. And it's important for me to say that, because I'm actually really impressed that you're actually doing this.
Thank you.
And you have gained so many subs in just such a short time.
It's really crazy.
I mean, I understand the feeling. It's just...
Like 350 subscribers in 4 days is really good.
And I mean, that's just the thing. You've always been good enough. You've always doubted yourself, but don't let anything stop you, right? That's what I'm trying to tell you, because there's no reason for it. Even if you feel like you have stuff that is stopping you from doing it, just don't even let that consume you. Just do what you want to do. And that applies for everyone.
Like, I'm doing it for people like me who have the struggle, and I'm trying to be there. Like, I'm like to be the person who say to them, you may be not good at this, but I know everyone have the strong point. Find your strong point. For everyone have their 7 sentences.
I mean, I think that's a thing that happens to most people, is that, you know, no one is bad at everything. No one. Like, we're all good at something, right?
Yeah.
Like, and
of course.
Like, for example, some people might be, you know, equally, you know, like, some people would just be highly skilled at everything. Like, those people do exist. But some people really specify into something and become specialists at that specific thing. And they just might feel like, oh, I'm really bad at everything. I don't know what to do. I felt like that. And I know for a fact that you have felt that way too. But
of course.
But it's all about just actually that one thing that you focused on. Just let that happen, because there's really nothing stopping you, because most of your feedback will be positive if you just have a good energy and just try to be humble and have a good, what should I say, image. Like, I don't know how to put it into better words, because
that's good. I know.
You just need to
be
a good person that people can stand behind in a way. Not necessarily stand behind, but you know, you can relate to that person.
Yeah, have this person like, this is my stepping stone. I want to be like this person. I want to be the person, not because I'm better, but because I understand the people who are same. I don't want to be better. I am not better in anything and anyone. I want to be the guiding star for someone who have the same problem.
Because that's just the thing, right? Is that when you become number one at something, it might make it seem like, oh, this person is way better than everything than I am, you know?
Yeah.
It makes it feel like I should be going down on my knees and before this person. That's not how it is. Like, mostly
that person wants you to get better, and then
look at it this way. We're so many people in this world, and someone has to be number one, you know? It's just naturally how it works. Like, someone will always be that one person. But it doesn't change the fact that this is just a person, right? It just happens to be that person. And I think in that sense, it's important that this specific person that gets the opportunity to stand out and get recognition, to show the world that this is just a normal person and I'm just like you. I'm just like all of you. I have my own doubts about myself. I have all these demons in my head. Like, we're all the same and we all strive for something better. And you'll always be a good image for the community.
And struck falling out. The person who been when I joined Arcade Empire is the game you're looking at was Phoenix, and when I joined this game I saw this big statue in the middle and think I can never be her. She is so far ahead, and in some way, and she used boost as well, so I have same advantages and disadvantages as same as her. So, but I see this big statue and this person. I feel like this is the number one player in the world, and I never going to catch up. But in a short amount of time, I did. In like 4 days or something, I grinded and grinded and grinded, and yeah, I did go to the number one spot. And when I did, I said to her, sorry for taking your place, because I'm feeling bad to put her to the number 2. And I feel like she was the number 1 for me. And now I'm there. I'm feeling strange, and this was like a crime to me to take down her place. And I typed to her in Discord and said, sorry to taking your place. And then I heard her, she had struggled with the people bullying her because she lost the number 1. She had actually been number 1 in several weeks. And I have only been for 3 weeks. No, not weeks, but days. I have been put down again, but that's not matter.
Yeah.
I already have my experience and have my learned thing.
And that's one important thing to mention as well, is that, I know that from my own experience as well, where when the leaderboards reset for me, I held my record for almost 3 years. But those people who became number 1 and who were always chasing my tail for number 1, we were not enemies. Like, obviously, like, we're competitors, but we're not enemies. And people need to realize that. We're competitors, not enemies. So when someone who is a fan of mine gives the other person hate just because they don't want them to overtake me, that's not how it works. Like, they should not do that, because I'm actually a really good friend to the number 2 player. Well, I was at that point in time. So it's really not a good thing that the person that is number 2 or something gets a lot of hate just because someone overtook them. Because the truth is, most of the top players in a game, they're actually friends. Yeah, they're friends.
They know each other.
Yeah. There's no bad blood. They're just good competitors. They're really good to each other. So there's really no need for all that hate. Like, I get that some people are fan of one specific person and stuff like that, but just try to be friendly to everyone, because at the end of the day, the players that are competing for those top spots, they are generally just friends, and they're just competing in a friendly manner. So there just really needs to be no hate against anyone, because there's no hate between them. So I don't think the fans need to spread hate to one another.
Because if you what's it called? If you are mine, if you subscribe to me, and you hate a competitor of mine, you like hating me at the same time, because I don't want to spread hate.
Yeah.
because the other person do it in same manner and same thing. So don't spread hate. It's not good, because you're hurting the community. When the community of the game are everyone on the game. We are on the same roof, under the same roof. So try to be more humble and don't hate people, because we don't hate the people overthrown us. Because I've lost the number one. Venix lost the number one. Venix don't hate me. I speak with her almost daily, and we have a really nice talk. And I'm in her VIP server, and this is a really good time.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just... The thing is that... Just try to be nice to everyone. Like, that's what we're trying to say. It's just... Keep in mind that all the top players... They typically in some way get in contact with each other. That's inevitable. So... It's like... I'm not saying that everyone is nice. I mean... there's always gonna be those people, but generally, the top players, they might be joking to each other, like friendly competition. We're not hating each other, so there's no reason for the fans of one person to hate the fans or the other person. They're just aiming towards the same goal, and they're having a friendly competition towards that goal. And if one of them reaches it, they congratulate each other. So I think it's important that we do the same. Everyone does the same thing. If someone overtakes you, fine. I had it for a while, and that was a fun journey.
And that people earn it. They have been grinding as much as you, or even more in that time.
Exactly, yeah.
So
it's
don't show hate, show love.
Yeah.
That's the matches.
And these are the things that is important to show when you are a person that gets recognition. Just get it out there. That we're just here for fun. We're actually playing a game. It's not important to be... If you're number 1 or number 10,000, it doesn't matter. If you have fun playing the game, that's really all that matters at the end of the day. And if you look up to someone, absolutely, I get that. But if someone overtakes that person that you look up to, you can look up to both of those people.
Yeah,
you don't have to.
Okay.
You don't have to necessarily. Like, I get that if you prefer one over the other. Like, sometimes you really like one person, right? But just remember that those two people are probably having a friendly competition, and they're not enemies. So you really shouldn't stand up to that person in a way where you become the enemy of the other, because that's not the way we see it. I can also speak from a personal experience where I had the same thing back then. I
can too.
Because I went on a holiday for 2 weeks with my best friend. Just the best friend that I'm speaking to right now.
Yeah.
We went on a holiday for 2 weeks.
Yeah. It was really good.
And, where I was sitting 15 to 18 hours a day, holding my record. The thing that happened was that when we went on holiday for 2 weeks, I lost my record for a few days when I got back home, and I had to retake it. I had to sit even more just to take it back. And this person, he even got banned. That was actually like, I don't know how this happened, but it was probably some inside job from some moderator or something. He got banned for not even doing anything wrong, just because they didn't want him to overtake me. That's actually pure corruption over there, and I don't even want to take part of that, because he deserved number 1 as well, right? He was a good player. But I was able to defend it eventually and gain more of a lead, but the point is, this person and we were talking on Skype. Back then we used Skype instead of Discord, and it's just, we were friends, basically. There was nothing bad in between us, so there's no need for other people to go in between and cause drama, because we don't do that. We're just people, all of us. Even the top players, we're just people, and we're actually friends, so there's no need to be enemies at all.